YouTube, how are we? Skinny Snorlax here. I got another Wi-Fi battle for you. This time it's up against someone I again do not know. His name is Ron. He's just a bro, being a bro, doing bro things. So I decided to ask this bro for a battle. And it was a pretty good battle, one of the best battles I've had actually. The ending was kind of stupid on my part, but it was a great ending nonetheless. He's bringing a more so OU tier with a Celebi, the thing I hate, the other thing I don't like, the thing I really don't like, the Electivire, and the Vaporeon. And I'm bringing 6 things I like. One being the Braviary, another one being Simisage, the next is Hitmontop, and then you got Tentacool, Moltres, and Manectric. Some of these you've seen before, some of them I don't think you have. But nonetheless, it was a great battle, great team. And you know what, let's just get started. And I decided, I didn't know what he was going to do. That's what I decided. I was like, what? So I decided to lead off with something that can just U-turn out with pace, which is my Braviary, and it was perfect. Because it was a ×4 super effective U-turn that would have taken that Celebi out one time. And here I just go for a U-turn, do a lot of damage, because this is a Choice Band Braviary, not Choice Scarf. And it is strong as shit. And then I bring in my Simisage. Here I should have predicted the Hax Queen, which it's right, it is a Hax or Hax Quen or whatever that thing is. But that doesn't matter. But I just go for Seed Bomb. It does very little damage, and I switch into my Tentacool. Goes for Flamethrower, and look at this, Hax Queen. This is so suitable. Got the burn on the first Flamethrower. I know it has Serene Grace or whatever ability that is, but still, screw you. And then he brings in Scizor, which at the time everyone was using Mega Scizor because that was just the Pokemon to use. I've never used a Scizor. I don't think I ever will, just because I'm that kind of person. And he obviously is gonna go Mega, and I figured why not switch into Moltres? He can't really do anything to me. Bug won't affect me. Steel won't do very well against me. The only thing it has is maybe Pursuit, but it just goes for a U-turn. Does very minimal damage because this is a defensive Moltres. I'm telling you, if you haven't used it, you gotta. And he brings in his Nessie, his Vaporeon, and I'm like, don't want to stay in. Why would I want to stay in here? So I decided to switch out, and I go straight into my Ching-Ching-Chu, which is Simisage. He goes for the Scald. I was like, shoot, don't get the burn. Yes, he only gets 1 burn in the first 2 turns, so that works. And he gets his leftovers and his poison, which is bringing him down. I thought he was going to switch. I thought for sure he was going to switch into his Hax Queen. So I go for the Gunk Shot, which would have taken it out. But he doesn't. He stays in, goes for that Ice Beam. And it just horrible. Just horrible misplay in my half. And so he's looking pretty good right now. His Nessie isn't doing too well. I don't know if he wanted to sack it right here. But I just go into Manectric, go for that big Volt Switch. Which, it's a pretty good idea, but I forgot about Electivire. As I did that, I was like, oh, he's going to bring that in, get that Motor Drive, but it doesn't really matter. So I take out his Vaporeon, so now it's pretty even, and I bring right back in Braviary, hoping that I can just U-turn anything, and completely forgetting Rotoms are usually Choice Scarf. But thank goodness I live with 2 HP. You don't see that every day. Well, you do, actually, it's quite often, but shut up. And here I just bring in my Manectric, knowing it can't really do anything to me, and I'll just take it out with anything. So I just go for Volt Switch to switch out, and again, or Thunderbolt to take it out, my bad. And he just goes into Electivire. Good choice on his side, but shitty play on mine. And here, this is a pretty good play, expecting the Earthquake, but completely forgetting he's got Motor Drive. He takes me out one time. So I was like, crap, that's shitty. So I bring in my Hitmontop, another defensive wall on my team. Get the Intimidate, lowers attack, which is perfect. He has to switch out, goes into Celebi, and I really didn't have anything for Celebi besides Flamethrower from my Manectric, because my Braviary's U-turn, well, Braviary's dead, and that was the only thing that could really take it out. And you see how much damage that close combat did, stab, like 120 damage or whatever, pitiful damage. But at least it's poisoned, that'll whittle it down bit by bit. So I just switch into my Moltres, knowing he can't really do anything to me. He might be able to Psychic, but I don't know how much damage that will really do. And he just goes for Heal Bell, gets rid of that poison, which was fine. That just means Moltres has more health for the next turns. And then he switches out, brings in his mailman, which is freaking Rotom Wash. I just go for that Will-O-Wisp, try to whittle down anything that he wants to bring in. Because I know he doesn't have any fire Pokemon to take it, so it just worked. And it goes down bit by bit, and I know it can take me out with any of its stab moves. So I switch into Tentacool knowing, yep, I can take anything. Hopefully it doesn't go for a Volt Switch or whatever, but it doesn't. Thank goodness, and I took that like a champ. But now we got 2 burnt water Pokemon out here, which doesn't really make sense. And he had to switch out his mailman because he knows he'll need that for later. And he brings in his Skizor. I go for the Scold, and I'm like, you know what, let me burn him. Come on, let me get some hacks. But no, nothing. Because if I burnt that, I would have won the game. That, well, you'll see later why, but it would have come in handy big time. So I switch back out to my Hitmontop, get that Intimidate. He figured that was coming, so I think he just switched into his Celebi, which was, yeah, it was a good play on his part, I'd say. Bad play, well, shitty for my part, but he gets Poison, which is good, and I just figured I'm just going to sack Hitmontop, and I did not expect that Psychic to do that little damage. I thought it was going to take me into red or take me out, but I guess Hitmontop is just pure bulk, that's all he is. And he's slowly getting whittled down by Poison and Stone Edge and my damage, and I was like, that's pretty good. I got him halfway down. I can bring in my Manectric, Flamethrower, or bring in a lot of things and just take it out. Now, that was my dogs barking if you couldn't hear that. Sorry about that. And now I'm just waiting, bring in Manectric, and right here I'm pretty sure I made a pretty good play. Yeah, I go for Substitute expecting him to switch out or go for Heal Bell, and which he does, so I'm behind a Substitute, which is perfect. And I can just go for a Flamethrower, still be behind the Substitute, take out the Celebi on the next turn right here. Check it out. That's the sound of a Flamethrower if you didn't know. And it's super effective, critical hit. Don't think it mattered. I'm pretty sure it didn't matter at all. But, oh well. And so he comes in, tries to get that revenge kill. Can only get that Dark Pulse. But I go for Flamethrower here, expecting him to switch in Rotom, then double switch into his Electivire. So I just want to play it safe, and thank goodness the Flamethrower did kill. And here, he's sitting on that Air Balloon, which I took a note of right at the beginning. But I switch in Tentacool just to sack it. I didn't really need it anymore. Then he goes for that Earthquake, takes me out, which gives me a chance to bring in my Moltres, which I should have brought in the first place, but that doesn't matter. And here he goes for Wild Charge. At full health, he does 164 damage. That was lucky. I don't know if that was min, max, or just plain luck on my part, but you know, it was luck. I'll just say it was luck on my part. And I get the burn, which helped so much, as you'll see in the next turn, after he takes out my Moltres with that big Ice Punch, that Icy Fist. And I bring him my Manectric, just go for the Flamethrower, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it out. I swear he lived on 1 this time. I guess it's only fair though, but he goes for Earthquake, does 70 damage. And that's a super effective from a big tough Electivire, like that's saying something. And right here I shouldn't have gone for the Substitute. I need a slap in the face, don't know why I did that, because obviously a Thunderbolt can take it out, no problem. Like check this out. It just whittles his health down so fast, I don't know why I said whittle, but it takes it out real easy. And right here, if the Skizor was burnt and I had more health, or even if I just had more health, I would have won. But he just goes for Bullet Punch, obvious Bullet Punch, but it doesn't really matter. Game ended. It was really close, 1-0. So, people, if you like this, please leave a like, comment, share, sub, do what you gotta do. But I'm Skinny Snorlax. Peace out.